Hey, I'm going to walk through the Laguna D Flux 3 Cyclone dust collector the way you'd want to hear it before you drop a few $100s on a shop centerpiece you might never really need. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The idea here is to cut through the hype and help you decide whether the D Flux 3 actually solves the dust control headaches you're dealing with, or if it's just another bulky box that sits idle in the corner. First off, let's talk about why a woodworker or a metal shop hobbyist might hesitate in the first place. Dust collectors promise clean air, safer breathing, and a tidier workspace, but they also demand space, power, and a bit of know-how to keep them running smoothly. The biggest mistake I see people make is buying a collector that's either overspec'd for a small shop or underspec'd for a larger operation, then wondering why the filter bags fill up in minutes or why the motor keeps tripping. The D Flux 3 lands in that middle ground with a 3 HP, 220V motor, which for most serious hobbyists translates to enough suction to pull chips from a table saw, a router table, or even a belt sander without choking the system. What really sets this unit apart is the negative pressure bag retention system that uses a magnetic quick connect hose. In practice, that means when you pull the hose off to clean or swap a bag, the bag stays sealed inside the drum instead of spilling a cloud of fine dust back into the shop. I've seen that happen with cheaper models where the bag loosens and you end up with a puff of particles the moment you detach the hose. Not fun if you're already wearing a mask. The magnetic connection is firm enough to hold under full suction, yet you can release it with one hand when you need to change bags, which cuts down the downtime between cuts. The drum lid also gets a quick-release design assisted by air struts. In real-world use, that translates to a lid that pops open with just a little push, so you can dump out the collected dust without wrestling with heavy hinges. I've been in workshops where the lid is stiff, and you end up pulling it off with a grunt, risking damage to the seal. The D Flux II's air strut assistance makes that process feel almost weightless, which is a small comfort, but a noticeable one when you're emptying the drum several times a day. Now, let's address the heart of any dust collector, the impeller. Laguna uses a computer-balanced, non-sparking aluminum impeller. The balance part matters because it reduces vibration, which in turn means the unit sits steadier on a concrete slab and doesn't shake loose nearby tools. The non-sparking claim isn't just marketing fluff. In a shop with fine wood shavings and occasional metal filings, a sparking impeller can ignite a fire hazard. Aluminum also stays cooler than steel under continuous load, which helps the thermal overload protection on the magnetic starter stay within safe limits for longer runs. Who should consider buying the D Flux 3? If you run a dedicated hobby shop of around 300,600 square feet, have a table saw, a few band or scroll saws, and you already see dust bags filling up after a couple of hours, this collector offers enough horsepower to keep the air clean without needing a full-size commercial system. It also makes sense if you're looking to upgrade from a portable shop vac that can't keep up with the volume of chips generated by a router table. The magnetic quick connect hose and easy release lid are genuine time savers for anyone who swaps bags frequently. Think weekend woodworkers who run several projects in a single day. On the flip side, if your workspace is a tiny garage with a single table saw and you already manage with a 1 HP shop vac, the D Flux 3 may be overkill. It draws a full 220V line, so you'll need a dedicated circuit. That's an extra cost and a bit of wiring work that a smaller operation might want to avoid. Also, the drum capacity is generous, but it adds weight. The unit isn't meant to be moved around on wheels after installation. If you need a portable collector you can roll from one bench to another, a smaller, cordless model would serve you better. A practical strength that's easy to overlook is the built-in thermal overload protection paired with a magnetic starter. In my experience, dust collectors that rely on simple switch-type starters can overheat if you forget to shut them off after a long session, leading to motor burnout. The D Flux II's magnetic starter automatically cuts power when the motor reaches a critical temperature, preserving the motor's lifespan. That safety net is especially valuable for people who might get caught up in a project and forget to turn the unit off. One practical weakness is the lack of a built-in filter cleaning system. Some high-end collectors have a reverse airflow that knocks dust loose from the filter, extending the time between full cleanouts. With the D Flux 3, you have to manually empty the drum and shake out the bag, which can be messy.